Alrighty. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to get into Google Docs. The way that I usually go about getting into, Google Drive. How I usually go about it is up at the top of your Gmail account, if you have a Gmail account, there's going to be this symbol right here that I'm pointing at for apps. And if I click on that, I have access to all of these different Google apps in the system. You'll notice that one of them is called Google Drive, so if I click on that, it's going to take me into Google Drive. So you'll see that I have a couple folders that are saved on here. I basically just pulled those over from my computer, and I can show you how to do that in just a little bit here. Like I said before, you can also create new documents out of the Drive. So there's Google Docs right here, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. So these are similar to Word and Excel and PowerPoint. And then I also have Google Forms and Google Drawings that you can use. I'm not going to go over these in detail today, but I'm just going to kind of show you how we can go about typing in a Google Doc and then sharing it with others, or accessing it from a different device. So I'm just going to click on Google Docs right here. And this looks similar to a word processor. Up here, I can rename the document. Just by clicking on the name of the document. I can also, if I click on the folder here, I can move it to a certain folder within my Google Drive, or create a new folder. So that's similar to saving something on your computer. And I can also type in the document, and I have some different editing tools up there so I can make the text bigger. Okay. So this is going to automatically save quite frequently, so just make sure that you have all changes saved in Drive before you exit the document. So we can do so by going to the little button at the top. I'm not sure if you saw that, and then that'll bring us into our docs. We can also share documents, so I'm just going to pop back into that document that we were in. And if I click on the share button right up at the top, it's going to tell me what my sharing is by hovering over it at this point. So this is private only to me. But I can share the document. So if I have a group of people that I'm working with on a document, I can go ahead and click the share button, and I can enter their name or their email address. If they're already in my Gmail contacts, I can just enter their name, but otherwise you can enter their email address here. And I can put a note in there, and then I can pick their editing privileges. So you can send a document for someone to just view. You can send a document for them to comment on, and you can send an editable document as well. And then I just click send, and that's going to go off to, they're going to get an invitation to view the document. So I'm just going to pop into my email for a second here and show you this is a invitation to a text document that I sent earlier. And this is what they're going to see. They're going to see, Marissa Scusa has invited you to edit the following document. And then I can say open in Docs. And it's going to open the document. Now they'll have to sign in. I was already signed into a Google account, so they'll have to sign in, but they have the capabilities then to look at the document. And in this case, I gave them editing privileges, so they're able to edit it as well. All right, let's head back. And I'm actually going to click on these 3 slash marks to get back to Google Drive again. Otherwise, you can also go to Drive down here in the 3 slash marks. Looks like I have it open already here. Okay, So just a couple more things. There is a tool that you can add to your computer so you can easily add files to your drive. And it's actually under settings. So if you click on the gear icon and then go to download drive, you can download it onto your computer. Now I've done this before the webinar just because it takes a little bit of time sometimes to download items. So I already have this downloaded on my computer. And what I can do, I'm going to open it up here. I have the Google Drive here. It's going to show up under your options for folders and tools. So what I can do is I can actually select Google Drive when I'm saving a document. So you'll see here that I have these files saved from my computer on Google Drive. So they're backed up to my computer as well as showing up in the drive. So if I go to a Word document and I create the document, I can then go and save the document as, and then you'll notice right here that I have Google Drive as an option. If I click on that and then save, I'm then saving it to my drive so other individuals can look at, or sorry, so I can look at it through my drive. So I'm going to go ahead and close this for a second. And we're going to come back to the drive. And you'll notice that this test document for Word is now showing up in my options. So now when I click on it in the drive, it's going to open up. And it's just going to give me a preview at first, but I can then open it with Google Docs if I want to. So it's gonna change the format of the document a little, but generally speaking, it doesn't make a huge change, so you can't work with the document anymore. Okay, so let's close this. And just a couple more things on here. You can share folders as well. So I have a couple folders that I set up, and I can share them with others. So if I click on the folder, I have the history of this folder here. So then if I double click on it, it's going to pull me into the folder. And bear with me just one second here. And if I click on the name of the folder, so this folder I call foreclosures, I can click the share button right here and I can share it with others. I can star it if it's a really important folder. I can star it so that I can come back and look at it later. And you can also change the color of the labels so you can recognize where everything is. And then you'll notice I have a download and a remove button. So if I want to download it, some of these files are in Word and Excel format, so if I want to download it onto my computer and open it in their original format, I can do that as well. Okay, all right. One last thing that I'm going to show you, and then I can take some questions, is how you can open documents that are sent to you in your Gmail account through the drive. So I'm just going to close the drive for a moment here, and from my other email that's not a Gmail account, I actually sent an email through here, so I'm just going to click on that. And I'm going to say display images. So you'll notice that I have the email text here, but then when I scroll down, there's an attachment to this, and I have two options. I can download the attachment, or I can save it to the drive. So if I click Save to Drives, it's going to give me a list of all my different folders that I have in the drive, and there's also a new folder option. So if I click on New Folder, I can create a whole new folder for this. and then click Create. And then I can move this document into that folder. So if I click on Move, it's going to say the attachment has been saved to your Google Drive. So then again, I can go up to my apps, and I can go to Drive. And I now show that I have a new folder called Tech Tuesday, and my document is in that folder. Okay, I'll take any questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. And then I also have posted on the website. They are creating an iOS app for Google Drive, or actually that was for Google Calendar. Anyways, they have an app for Android and for iOS. So if you have a phone with app capabilities, you can go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and download the Drive onto your phone or onto your tablet. So this is accessible through many different devices. Okay, any questions? Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day and drive safe. Thanks.